My name's Doug Delaney. We're here at the Cutting Barn in Mason, New Hampshire. We got Ross's bear that he got last night. We're going to do a little bear caping video here for you today on how to properly cape a bear for either a rug or a shoulder mount, and we're just going to get after it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start right here where they ended their cut. We're just going to open this up. We're going to stay super tight to the hide, right? We want to keep as much fat as we can on the body of the bear. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife, we're going to go inverted, and we're going to go right for that same cut that we made to hang this animal up. That's going to be our target. So we're really just going to look for a straight line on the inside of the leg, because we want to get this prepared the right way for the taxidermist. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our time, and we're just going to walk this up. Just like that. Now we're going to stay really tight to the hide here. We're going to use constant pressure. We're going to curl our hand, and we're just going to make small little cuts. We don't need to rush. And we're constantly pulling to keep the hide away from the meat. Now that we have that opened up, we're going to go right down the rib cage. We're just going to follow this rib cage down, staying really tight to the hide. I'm just going to work this to loosen up this hind quarter. I'm going to come back on this side. Once we get this free, we got this here. If we get a little hair on there, what we're going to use the blade of our knife. We're going to put it right back on the hide. Bears are dirty, so we want to take our time. There's always one side that's harder than the other, depending on if you're righty or lefty. What we're going to do is we're going to hang them back up, because we need to put these S hooks right inside the H bone right there, because we got to crack these two bones to get these paws to fold over, and that way we can continue to tube him out for Ross's mount. What we're going to do here is we're going to take our boner knife and we're going to make a small cut right where we put our spreader in. We're going to go right down to the bone, because we're going to take our Sawzall, we're going to crack that bone so we can fold these feet right over, and that's going to give the taxidermist a lot easier hide to work with. And that way too, is whatever Ross decides to do, whether it's a rug or a shoulder mount, the taxidermist is going to have it's going to be a lot easier for him to work with what we're doing for him. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the back side of this shank right here, and because we cracked the bone and we took our time, we're going to be able to get right underneath this and stay close to the hide. We're going to cut a little bit of meat, but we want to leave this joint on, and we want to leave that paw on there for the taxidermist to take that out. We don't want to cut too much, we don't want to cut too far down to not give him with enough material to work with. So now that we got it over both legs, we crack that. We're just going to follow the contour of the meat. We're going to make a little bit longer cuts now, just taking our time. We're using a caping knife here. It's got a little curve to it. That helps us roll the knife, and we're just going to stay in that seam between the fat and the skin. Again, helping out the taxidermist, keeping the fat on the meat. Bear fat's great to be rendered down. A lot of guys are doing that now. They're asking us to keep the fat, which is great. Utilizing all parts of the animal on our harvest. It's very rewarding. We're keeping constant pressure, pulling on the hide, give us that little resistance, gives us access to this seam Sometimes I'll grab it and I'll turn my hand to get the right angle, open that seam up, and just work our way down. All right, now it's a pretty important part. We're getting right down to where Ross got done field dressing this. We don't want to make any more cuts down this the sternum or the brisket because we're going to be probably doing a shoulder mount or a rug. We're going to let the taxidermist do those cuts. So now that we've gotten our hide even with that last cut mark from Ross, what we're going to start to do now is we're going to go super slow. Probably only going to use maybe a 1/2 inch of our knife. We're going to follow this brisket down just like this. We're going to stay super close, and what we want to do is create a pocket in along the brisket bone or the sternum, and we want to stay a little deeper on the brisket and the sternum and all the other parts, and I'll show you why here when we get down to the armpits. It's an important factor when we start to fold the skin over the arms. Bears are obviously built all heavy in the forequarter. You know, we got some Brock Lesnar forearms here. These things aren't anything to mess around with. This is a big, healthy animal, built to survive, climb trees. And sometimes it can be an obstacle to get this hide over these arms, which you'll see, but that's why it's super important for us to stay in this pocket right here. And we're just gonna keep working it down. And this is definitely a crucial part where you wanna go slow. The hide can tend to be a little bit thinner here, and there's some heavy connective tissue. So we're gonna take our time. We're gonna stay deep in the pocket right here. As you can see, I'm just gonna work my way in there, a little bit at a time. Once I get to the point where I can't really go anymore, then I'm gonna start working my edge back around. And especially if you get a wound channel right here, we're gonna take a little extra time because somewhere in here, there's gonna be a hole in the hide. We don't wanna make that hole any bigger than what it already is, as you can see right there. So we're just gonna take our time. We're gonna go right underneath it, just like that. Now right here, we're gonna get into the shoulder meat. There's a small seam in between the hide and the shoulder meat. This is what we call the rose meat here. That can stay on the hide, that's fine. That's at the end of the day, that's only a few ounces right there. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna stay real tight right here. You can see where that shoulder meat starts. Again, that 6.5 PRC did a good job knocking this thing down. We've got a few wound channels in here. We're just gonna work our way around them. We got it around the shoulders. We made our pocket and our brisket. We just took the hide and we folded that over the elbows. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let gravity help us out, right? Gravity's gonna be our best friend. Now we're gonna continue to do the same thing, and we're gonna start working that sternum, that brisket bone down. We're gonna stay tight to the meat. And just so you guys know too, it's always better to cut into the meat versus cut into the hide. We always want to angle our knife into the meat. If we score the meat and that fat layer, that's completely fine. What we don't want to do is put a hole in that hide. So now what we're going to do is we got it pretty much over most of the shoulder here. We're going to have to start working our forearms. There's a lot of tough connective tissue here. So what we want to do is start rolling. We're going to grip this. And what our target's going to be is this armpit right underneath here. We'll get to that in a second, but we're just going to take our knife, we're going to roll over this joint right here, and we're going to cut right in towards the meat, just like this. This is super tough tendons in here, super tough connective tissue, and we're just going to keep working nice and slow. And what we're going to do is we're going to work both sides, from this side of the armpit to this side of the armpit, until we can see the light of day. We have our good pocket in the brisket right here. It gives us a lot of area to work with. As we said before, we're going to want to stay deeper here than we are on the outside. We're letting gravity help us out, and we're just going to go back and forth until we can see the light of day through that armpit. Now we got through there. What I always suggest doing here, once we get through, we're going to get a finger in there, we're going to hold it, we're going to cut towards the shank. It's a lot easier for us to do this than it is where this connects to the forequarter here. This hide is super thin, so we're going to go super slow, but we want to release the pressure by doing the forearm first, and we're going to go all the way around. Again, this shank's gonna be all burger meat, so if we make these little scores in it, that's what we talked about before. It's a lot better to cut into that shank than it is to cut it into that hide. That taxidermist is gonna thank you for doing that and making his life a little easier. Now that we got that pretty much opened up here, we're just gonna take our knife, we're gonna go nice and slow. You can see right there, it's fairly thin. And this is where we're just gonna take our time. Gonna work right in here. We're gonna get to that neck meat now. We're gonna stay real low. Just start scooping underneath it. We're looking for all those tight points. I'm just gonna walk this right underneath there. Now that we got this side down, we're gonna come back over to this side and we're gonna do the same thing over here. So now that we got this all clear, we made our holes in our armpits. We're getting down to the neck here. The neck on a bear is very, very short. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start working these forearms down right to the joint on the paw, or as close as we can get it. And again, this is that heavy, heavy connective tissue that we were talking about here. We're just gonna take our knife and we're just gonna go right around, make even cuts. If you can pull down on the hide and open this up, this is great. Again, we're tubing this out so the taxidermist can make the cut. I'm not saying that this is the only way or the right way. This is just a way. This is how we do it. We found a lot of success doing it this way. We've got a lot of good feedback from the taxidermists, and it's been good for everybody, the hunters, us, and the taxidermists. We're going to leave that skull attached to the hide. So we're going to let the taxidermist cape the face out. That's something we always do. The taxidermist likes to do it. Ross is going to get the skull back from the taxidermist. He's going to bring it back to us. We're going to Euro mount it. Starting in January, we'll be able to get that done for him. We do Euro mounts here. This is the one-stop shop. And yeah, man, nice job, Ross. This is a very, very successful hunt. Great animal. Nice job.